Today, it's movie recap time for Not Another Teen Movie, a comedy film released in 2001. John Hughes High School is like any other school, filled with teenagers experiencing hormonal changes in different social groups. Despite a teacher's statement that there is no discrimination or cliques at the school, he contradicts himself by separating the new students into specific groups. Janie, accompanied by her father, reads a book during their journey to school. Her brother Mitch asks her to start dating, yet Janie refuses to conform to the norms of high school, embracing her identity as an intellectual outcast. Just as they arrive at school, her father accidentally collides with a cheerleader in the midst of her dance routine, though this proves to be just one of their concerns. Soon after, the school's immensely affluent and popular athlete, Jake Weiler, arrives. His magnetic allure captivates every girl in sight. Currently, he is in a relationship with Priscilla, the most sought-after girl on campus. Several photos of Jake are displayed throughout the school, drawing the attention of a multitude of adoring girls. Janie stands by her locker when her best friend Ricky appears, and they engage in conversation. Ricky has feelings for Janie, which she habitually disregards. As a symbol of his affection, he presents her with a mixtape, which she casually tosses amidst her collection of countless mixtapes he has gifted her. In the meantime, Janie's brother wanders the school grounds, endeavoring to win over a girl to shed his purity. That's when he sets his sights on Amanda, the ideal match for him. Jake, a nice guy who normally cares for others, finds himself entangled in frequent fights with his rival, Austin. Right then, Jake's sister, Catherine, walks in, even though she's already graduated. Priscilla, the school's most attractive and desired girl, also makes an entrance. Shortly after, Priscilla heartlessly breaks up with Jake, saying what they had was just a fling. Janie is at her art class, painting what looks like a masterpiece but is soon revealed to be nothing more than stick figures. As Jake and Austin talk about Priscilla, Jake broods over the sight of Priscilla passionately embracing her new boyfriend. In an attempt to show he doesn't care, Jake asserts to his friends that any girl can look as good as her with the right makeover. Austin immediately challenges Jake to a bet, in which Jake has to make prom queen of any girl that Austin chooses. Without hesitation, Jake accepts the challenge. They begin their search for the most socially hopeless girl in the school and ultimately select Janie Briggs, as her glasses and ponytail apparently make her the ultimate loser. Jake scoffs at Austin and urges him to select another candidate for prom queen, as there is no way Janie could fulfill that role. Malik, Jake's stereotypical friend with dark skin, speaks a random cliché line and wishes him well on the challenge. Meanwhile, at the gym, Mitch is still swooning and trying to win over Amanda. He and his friends look at the girls in the changing room and decide to sneak a peek. They climb inside a vent and see a girl about to pee, which soon turns out to be a big mistake. Suddenly, the girl experiences an episode of severe intestinal distress, causing immediate disgust among the boys. They desperately attempt to retreat, but the vent is already too loose. At the same moment, Janie's teacher expounds on the literary excellence of Oscar Wilde. As fate would have it, the vent gives way, causing the boys to plummet down and inadvertently land on top of the girl. The impact shatters the floor, directly exposing Janie's classroom to the chaotic scene. This results in the teacher being drenched in excrement and the boys in the class breaking into chaos. At lunch, Jake walks up to Janie and asks if she wants to be popular, which really perplexes her. She says no, but then Jake asks her out so that they can be seen in public together, and he gets to win his bet. Janie refuses and walks away. At the cheerleading auditions, Priscilla and her followers eagerly anticipate the next contestant, who happens to be a modest girl. Suddenly, the girl unleashes a torrent of ruthless profanities due to her Tourette's syndrome. Priscilla likes the way she screams obscenities and instantly selects her. Upon returning home from school, Jake sees his father hanging up a Princeton poster. Jake expresses his lack of interest in attending that university, but his father insists, emphasizing that he must pursue a career in law due to their wealth. His father tells him he's really sorry about Priscilla and advises Jake to find a rebound girl. On the other hand, Janie dozes off while watching yet another romantic movie. When her father inquires about her troubles, she confides in him about Jake's proposition. Still drunk, her father mistakenly assumes that Jake has knocked her up, but Janie assures him that it is not true. Nevertheless, her father encourages her to go out with Jake, even if he is only using her as a means to gain popularity. In his perspective, this would put an end to the bullying directed at both Janie and her brother. Jake enters Catherine's room, seeking guidance on how to transform Janie into a popular and likable girl. Catherine acknowledges the challenge but assures him that she can help. She then tells him the 3 necessary steps. Firstly, he must earn her trust, which he achieves by defending Mitch from some bullies. However, when Mitch accidentally attacks Jake, Jake retaliates and knocks him out. Weirdly, this somehow makes Janie like Jake even more. Next, Jake needs to make Janie feel special by singing a song with her name in it. However, when he begins singing Janie has a gun, it terrifies everyone around, causing them to run away in fear. As the police arrive moments later, Janie attempts to escape, but they still catch her. Jake sees her getting tased, but he just freaks out and flees. For the final step, Jake must seduce Janie and make her feel desired. Attempting to win her over, he offers to prepare a snack for her. However, upon returning, he arrives wearing only cream and cherries to cover his private parts. Janie doesn't approve of his behavior, so she walks away, leaving Jake feeling very sad. The next morning, Jake goes to Janie's house and says he wants to take her to his friend's big party. Janie declines, saying she doesn't even have a dress. Jake ignores her words and comes in with Catherine, who brings makeup, dresses, and everything needed to improve Janie's look. Carefully observing Janie's appearance, Catherine identifies the changes needed. By taking off her glasses and letting down her ponytail, Catherine reveals Janie's remarkable beauty. Her brown hair flows gracefully down her shoulders. Minutes later, Catherine proudly introduces a new Janie to her family and Jake. The sight of her leaves everyone astounded, and Jake falls for her instantly. As Janie prepares to descend the stairs, her foot becomes trapped. Suddenly, the stairs collapse, causing her to tumble down along with some furniture. Jake helps her out, and they proceed to the party. Mitch and his friends also attend the event. He confides in his friends about his intentions to share romantic moments with Amanda by presenting her with a love letter. The transformed appearance of Janie at the party shocks everyone present. Priscilla becomes visibly bothered upon seeing Janie's newfound popularity and her relationship with Jake. In the meantime, Catherine engages with a random guy, and Jake introduces Janie to the partygoers. Amanda enters the party, and everyone is mesmerized. Everyone gets drunk at the party, and Janie has some drinks with Jake. Catherine decides to give her older classmates some first-hand experience with kissing and romantic moments. Shortly after, Janie gets extremely drunk and impulsively jumps into the pool. Jake checks on her while Priscilla angrily insults her and pours water into her already wet clothes. Feeling sad, Janie runs away, crying. At home, she turns to painting as a means to alleviate stress. Jake goes after her and enters the room to comfort her. As he gazes upon her artwork, a painting of herself and her late mother, Jake comments that she has her mother's eyes. Janie's eyes well up with tears as she opens up about her mother's untimely passing when she was only 6 years old. Jake consoles her, advising her to let go of the past and embrace her talent for drawing stick figures. They grow closer, but everything gets awkward, and they decide to stop. Jake says goodbye and leaves, while Janie watches him go. The next day, it's clear that Janie has developed strong feelings for Jake. At that moment, Jake approaches them and invites Janie to the prom, which she happily accepts. During a football game, the players engage in ferocious behavior as Jake anxiously waits his turn from the bleachers. At halftime, Jake and his team regroup. Reggie Ray, one of his teammates, appears to be bleeding from a severe concussion. Despite his condition, Reggie insists on returning to the field, but his performance is clearly affected. When he suffers another knockout, Jake believes it's his time to shine. However, the coach intervenes and prevents Jake from playing. Determined to get Reggie back on the field, the coach has 2 players tie Reggie to themselves. When Reggie Ray loses consciousness again, Jake finally gets his chance to play. The crowd cheers him on, but Jake succumbs to nervousness and hesitates. A wise janitor sits beside him, offering words of encouragement to restore his confidence. The match resumes, and Jake skillfully avoids opponents during the game. His friend Malik asks for the ball. When Jake throws the ball high into the sky, he accidentally hits Reggie Ray in the face. The impact causes Reggie to suffer another concussion, leaving Jake filled with self-blame for his great mistake. The crowd boos him, and their team loses the game. Jake feels overwhelming disappointment and a sense of alienation. In that moment, Janie comes to cheer him up. He tells Janie that he let everyone down, but she lets him know of his positive impact on her growth. Janie appreciates his support, which makes Jake feel better. However, Austin interrupts them, saying that it's time for payback. Jake tries to intervene, but Austin reveals the truth to Janie. She is shocked and devastated to discover their connection was a bet, despite her genuine feelings. Jake tries to convince Janie of his love and his previous blindness to her. Overwhelmed, She runs away, heartbroken. Prom night finally arrives, and everyone starts getting ready for it. Jake is determined to win back Janie and express his love for her. However, she is too hurt and decides to go to prom with Austin. The event starts, and a sense of unease fills the air between Jake and Janie. Austin bores everyone with his stories, while Mitch tries to connect with Amanda. As Amanda enters, everyone becomes captivated. Mitch gathers courage and presents a heartfelt love letter to her. However, she takes offense, thinking it's just for romantic engagement. Nevertheless, she takes him away from the crowd to do some stuff. Janie and Austin dance while Jake watches, feeling sad. To make Janie jealous, Jake asks Catherine to dance. The two couples engage in an intense dance battle, frustrating Janie with Catherine's excessive contact. Catherine also kisses Jake. Heartbroken, Janie leaves Austin behind and rushes out of the venue. Jake tries to follow her, but Catherine stops him. Shortly after, the prom king and queen are announced. As expected, Jake becomes prom king, and the crowd cheers. He walks toward the stage as the principal prepares to announce the prom queen. Priscilla expects to win and starts walking toward the stage. However, the principal declares a tie between two people. It turns out the prom queens are conjoined twins, and they receive congratulations from everyone. Jake joins them in a dance, but after noticing Janie leaving with Austin, he chases after her. At the entrance, he finds Malik and asks about Janie's location. Malik reveals that Austin has booked a hotel room, suggesting that's where they're going. When Jake finally gets to the hotel room, he is surprised to find Austin and Priscilla filming a video together. Austin tells Jake that Janie actually ran home halfway through and makes fun of Jake. Jake punches all of them and leaves. He hurries to Janie's house and asks her father where she is. Janie's father shares that she has decided to go to the airport and fly to Paris, feeling fed up with everyone and everything. Jake goes to the airport and searches everywhere for Janie, but he can't seem to find her. Ricky also arrives at the airport, visibly injured from an accident. Finally, Jake spots Janie and calls out to her, but she doesn't hear him. Inspired, he throws a football at her to get her attention, and the ball hits her in the head. He rushes to her side, expressing his emotions and confessing his deep love for her. A nearby airline employee informs Janie that Jake has been quoting movie lines and advises him to express his true feelings. Jake then tells Janie to board the plane to Paris, believing he's going to cheat on her sooner or later. Janie believes he's also quoting another movie, so she simply agrees to love him and date him nonetheless. They share a kiss, and the crowd cheers. Thanks for watching. If you like our content, please like the video and don't forget to subscribe.